We're here with Gulliver Prep, Deshaun Perry, Divas in. What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, coach. Just finished our spring game. Seventh on our spring year. All of our guys got there, even the young bucks. So it's a good day out here, coach.
Well, who did you play youth football for?
Youth football, I bounced around a little bit. I played for Sunnyland, Richmond Giants, and Pomona Bay Broncos, coach. All three of those teams.
Yeah, you ever won a championship?
I won a Part One championship when I was in the '80s, coach.
Really?
I ain't get to the national championship, but
Yeah.
yes, sir.
You never made it that far?
No, sir. No, sir.
You watch football, Bill?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Tell the
sir.
truth, bro.
I do, coach. I do. I do, coach.
Listen, how many offers you got?
Right now it's 18, coach.
You got 18 offers?
Sir, let's have 18, coach.
Any schools you grew up liking, man? Who you grew up rooting for?
I grew up rooting for Oregon, coach.
Really?
I've been with them since they was in the Rose Bowl, national championship, all that. When Deontay Thomas was there, shaking people and making people miss, and that was me.
So you grew up an Oregon fan in Miami?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uniforms got me, coach.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got a Miami offer?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Would you like a Miami offer?
Yes, sir. Just hoping, just praying.
Miami, y'all heard that? Big man, 6'4", defense end, Gulliver Prep, praying for Miami offer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who all you got? Give me some of the schools you got.
Florida, Auburn, Washington State, Vanderbilt, Syracuse, Virginia.
Oh, great schools.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maryland and let me see. And USF, coach.
Okay.
Just to name a few, coach. I can't
Yeah.
get on my mind right now.
How often do you work out on your own outside of football practice?
On my own is every other day, coach. If it's not me running around the Richmond Park, running around the track, it's me doing push-ups and doing curls by myself in my room, coach.
On your own?
Yes, sir.
In your room?
Yes, sir.
Y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
That's how it works. On your own, in your room.
Yes, sir.
So you plan on taking any, got any visits planned yet?
The only visit I have official is Virginia, and that's in June 22nd. That's the only one I have for official right now. I'm trying to make up some more dates so I can get up to more schools, but that's the only one I have right now, coach.
How you did out here today?
I think I did pretty well, coach. It was my first official game playing outside linebacker, and I did pretty good. Made some tackles, got a touchdown. Even put me at the wideout, I scored a touchdown, coach.
At the wideout?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, you got it then, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, all right, Footballville, Gulliver Prep, Mr. Perry, we're gonna be following you this year, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, coach.
All right, thank you. What's going on, man? I'm D. I talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. Thing popping. What you just was looking at was Deshaun Perry. That was my Deshaun Perry a few years ago. Back in how long ago that was. He was at Gulliver Prep back in 4 years ago, 2018. That come from. Deshaun Perry was like a linebacker at Gulliver. Went on to UVA. Been at UVA for like 4 years, man. He was one of the kids that got shot. Got shot this weekend at UVA this morning. At UVA, sad story, man. Actually knew his family, bro. Actually worked with his dad. Good dude, man. Good kid. Not sure what happened. Heard it was an ex-player. The ex-player shot up the bus or something like that. But in these situations, man, it's sad. I think 5 shot, 3 died. They can't speak for themselves. Only one alive. Only one's alive is the survivor. It's the actual guy who killed him. And only part of the story you get is his side of the story. That's the sad part about it. So yeah, man, somber day. They started off jacked up because of that. I think one of the kids actually played for Mario. And they tried to talk about it. Mario didn't really want to talk about it. So listen, man, 786-459-4499. If y'all want to get down with IOD Squad, we got a sale going on today, and I think we only have 8 more slots to fill. We got a sale going on today. Y'all can say thank you to Jakari Brown. The football villains got access to it first. We was only filling 25. Only 25 people we're going to add. It's $11 sale. Shout out to Jakari Brown with his number 11 that he wears. I think there's 8 more spots left. And once that fill up, it'll just revert back to the normal price. Football villains had access to it all day long, man. They jumped in, man, and they ravaged the price, man. They ravaged the price. That's for IOD Squad, Investor Die, our Discord, where we trade. The other night we had a great conversation on IOD Squad about it's a good conversation, man. Had a good conversation about what happened with FTX. That crazy story. Buying low and selling high. Man, Rich kind of broke that down. Buying low and selling high. Exactly what that was. Had a nice little class in there. We do like 3 classes, 3 huddles. We get together on IOD and get question and answers. Let you guys come through, ask questions, things of that nature. So that's going on right now, man. $11 for the next 8 people. I guess if I'm gonna do that, I guess I gotta put the link in the comment section, huh? So y'all won't be texting me. You can text me right now, 786-459-4499. I won't put the link in the comment section for you. Seven 786-459-4499. I'm gonna put that link right here in the comment section for y'all. $11 IOD car sale. I'm gonna pin that for you. Gotta get a few people in here, man. So I'm gonna give y'all a little commercial break, man. We pulled a couple people in here, man. Get these likes. So let's get these likes up to 70%, and then we'll open up the chat for everybody. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get these likes up to 70%, and then we'll open the chat up for everybody. Take a look. Take a little commercial break, man. Let the people file in here, man. They filing in here really slow, man. Share it with your friends, man. Let's get the people in here, man. Take a little commercial break for a second.
Welcome to South Florida. Yeah. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida.
Decommits.
Welcome to South Florida.
When you on the field, is it pregame? Like, is it ever? Are you ever afraid? Does you ever feel fear, or do you ever feel pressure?
Nervous.
You ever feel pressure?
Not one bit.
None of that.
No. Who's been your tough defender? Like, who's guarded you the tough?
Yeah, who's the toughest person you played?
I don't see nobody.
I knew this.
Nobody.
He was gonna get with the damn hood.
That's what I'm for. I'm a playmaker. I love receive. I love to catch the ball. I love to go over people's head.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I just got to do what I do.
University of Miami, they land you, and then they land the number one. We call him football player, number one player in the nation, James Williams.
Yeah.
Both playing the same position, right? How do you envision that working? Are they telling you how that's gonna work, or?
Well, I feel like me and James two different safeties,
Uh huh.
and I'm more of the ball hogging safety. He's more of the rangy playing, like you couldn't say like in the box, but like the striker position, strong safety.
Right.
And I'm more of the free safety. So I already know in practice that's gonna just build great competition, and when the game comes, it's gonna be easy.
That's what's
Because I
up.
know we go hand in hand because it's like we're the same person.
Right.
So he has like his strengths and weaknesses, and I have my strengths and weaknesses, and we're gonna he can feed off of me, learn how to, I guess, be more of the free safety, and then I can learn off of him, be more of like a closer to the box safety.
Right.
So I feel like we just gonna make each other better.
Yeah, James played free safety. He wanted to play free safety. He was big on that. But James don't never be back at free safety. James be closer to the line than linebacker sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But that's
just him helping his team win.
That's his chess. Yeah, that's it. That's him playing chess with the team. I totally
Yeah.
get it. I covered James since he was that big, bro. I've known him all his life.
I just feel like every time it's just man on man. If he wins the battle, then there goes the play. He doesn't break on the run, or if this person like doesn't take that step, or certain things. I feel like you beat your man every play,
Right.
you got the best chance to stop any team, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-star. Lean loyalty. 6'12", 276 pounds.
Yeah. After that, I just started going crazy. Tackles after tackle.
Yeah, the first play was like a tackle for loss, like 6.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't touch you, like.
Yeah, like they did.
Explain to me, dog. Like, what is that about? Like, how do they not? You 6'5", 300 pounds.
I mean,
Is it something? Is it a swim move or something you do? Like, they don't see you? You're teleporting? What's going on?
I'm too fast for long.
They don't realize you that fast when the game starts. Like,
I'm gonna be the best player on the field. Like, I just gotta show the world. Like, I'm the true 50. I'm the next 56 up. The next. I'm gonna just go crazy this year. Like, show people like, wow, at 56. Like, show them like I want to take care of my mom. I want to put in a big house, stupid cars, big pool in the backyard. Put on for my brothers, my nieces and nephews, like coaches. I think all of them boys for like having me here at this like position that I'm in now, because like it took hard work and dedication. Without all of them to guide me in the right path, I wouldn't be here today. So I think all of them for like helping me out. Like, yeah.
Big time players step up the big game. All the criticizing and all that is over, baby. Big time players step up the big game.
And take a little commercial break, dog. Get a few people in here. All right, man. So let's get these likes up to 70%, man, and we'll open the chat up for everybody. Everybody who in the chat. We started. We got to get it up to 70%. That's the plan, and we'll open it up for everybody in the chat. Let me pull a couple people in here, man. We live. Should have a few people stopping by. Shout out to Rob with the $5. I appreciate the content you and your team bring. We do it for y'all, big homie. We do it for y'all, big homie. We do it for y'all. That's why we do it. Can't even much lie. If y'all didn't see it, we started off the interview with Deshaun Perry from Gulliver, man. One of the kids shot this morning. Sad situation. Also, $11. IOD Squad, let me see. It's on sale for $11. $11. Shikari, IOD sale. I think we got 8 more slots left. We get here to talk about a little bit of Malik Bryan now. I know y'all seeing this Malik Bryan stuff out here. Shout out to Sammy Ramirez, big homie. Sammy Ramirez say best show in Miami. I was on with Coop them last night, dog. Getting it in with Coop them last night. That was funny, bro. Shout out to Sammy Ramirez for $5, man. So $11 Curry IOD sale. The link is pinned at the top, and the link is in the description. We got a lot going on, dog. We got a lot going on. Having to pull it together. Let's see if I put my buddies in here. I see you say Malik flipping. Ain't no way. I think it's coming from. I think somebody said they saw it on 3. Rumors about Malik flipping. X say follow the visits. Malik been to the games though. X say follow the visits. Malik been to the game though. Let's see what they talking about, man, with this Malik Bryan stuff, man. Let's see. What did it say? It said on 3. Let's see what it's on. What are they saying on 3? Anybody saw Malik Bryant's stats this year? 247 still have him UM. They said it was on 3 though. Few things. Young wide receiver 7 McGee. Young wide receiver 7 McGee was on campus today. 7 McGee transferred out of Oregon. I know 7 McGee. He had 11 catches this year for like 67 yards. I'm not sure what happened at Oregon. Took him a long time to get into Oregon, bro. I met 7 McGee at a high school 7-on-7 in Vegas. And he was from New York, but he said he watched Footballville. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, man, I watched Footballville from New York. I was like, yo, yeah. But we've been cool ever since, man. And he went to Oregon, caught like maybe 20 passes. 5'8" kid, stout kid, dynamic kid. I'm not sure what happened at Oregon. I got Kim and KB in the back. I'm gonna bring the boys in here. I'm not sure what happened at Oregon, but he was on campus today. And I hit him up. He hit me back. And I see he's dealing with, look like the same agents that deal with Dalvin Cook and James Cook. Looks like the same to me. KB, what's up?
What's up, bro? Give me a few. My background kind of loud.
Gotcha. Looks like the same to me. Kim, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Good Monday to you.
Good Monday, man. I woke up to a horrible Monday, man. So 5-star and Pimble narrows his list down to what? And Pimble narrowed it down to 4: Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Miami. I heard we've been kicking for Pimble here lately. Kim, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing. Just getting ready for the Monday night game and kind of excited about the future of Ja'Cory Brown. Hopefully Ja'Cory plays the rest of the year. I made my thoughts clear. I think he's the future, might be the present. I don't know if he's going to start this week. Mario keeps dropping hints that Tyler Van Dyke might come back, and I'm like, oh, geez. I mean, it's clear to me that he's not healthy, right? I thought we rushed him back against Florida State, and then he got knocked out of that game. And I'm thinking to myself, here's the thing. This season is already a wash. I think, the rest of the season should be about the young kids like Wesley Basaint, Jaleel Skinner, Honest Cooper. So, I'd kind of like to expedite the development of Ja'Cory and give him as many snaps as possible. Don't even worry about the results of the game. Just let him get some real experience under his belt. There's nothing like facing live bullets.
It's true. My take on it is that debut. I talked to Coach Steele, and I was like, hey, man, that debut for a freshman quarterback, that was pretty good. Steele said he got lit up by a few freshman quarterbacks in the past. But that debut, Kim, to me was, you saw it with your own eyes. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Do you send him back to the bench ever? You know what I'm saying? Is this the first start? Like, do you send it? You can only build on this.
Streeter, I don't know about you, and maybe this is just a preconceived notion or like it could be completely incorrect because I watched the game from my house 3,000 miles away in LA. The team seemed to have a different juice with Ja'Cory. They were excited. And look, the one thing about Tyler Van Dyke, and this has not been the year that he wanted, I don't think it's all his fault, but his body language has been poor the whole year. There's certain lack of energy with him. And with Jakari, as limited as this offense is right now with him, because he still has to kind of expand his game, I thought our guys really wanted to play for him. And he brings an element that we've never really had to this degree. And if he starts against Clemson, and that's going to be a very tough test, okay, especially in Death Valley, we have to take some deep shots on early downs. It just can't be run. Oh God, it's 3rd and 9. That you're going to get that kid crushed. But we need to start doing some other things that I think are realistic. Taking a few deep shots, max protect, simplify the reads. Also, we run a lot of bubble screens with Jakari. Well, you know what? You could run a fake bubble screen and run guys upfield. I've seen that play a lot from different teams. Expand it, be realistic in what he can do, but let him play quarterback. Let him ball. This is fun to watch with Jakari.
I think he could do a lot more than they showed us. I'm gonna be real with you, Kim. What he's able to do now is I'm pretty amazed at what he's able to do now from what we saw 8 months ago. He got in the lab and he worked really hard, bro. And that's a leader. That's a leader.
And look, he can be, he's 6'5", 6'6", but he's got that twitch, he's got that explosiveness, and his arm strength is not a problem. He can air the ball out 70 yards. What he's going to have to work on in the offseason is the understanding of the pass game, and then really on touching the ball and intermediate accuracy. But I love what I'm seeing from him. And look, our offensive line is banged up. We are going to need a guy the next 2 weeks that can run around and escape the rush. And then understand, sometimes just throw the ball away. Live to see another day. Kicking the ball at the end of each drive is not a bad thing. I think the most impressive thing he did last week against Georgia Tech, Streeter, no turnovers. No turnovers. He valued the football. And his threat on that mesh point opens up running lanes, because you really have to respect the threat of 11 on that mesh point. And ask Jalen Lighton, would he much rather take a handoff from number 11 or number 9? Just saying.
Explain to people what you mean by threat in mesh point.
Well, the mesh point is when they do that kind of that read, that inside read, where they're the thing is with Jakari, his ability, if he holds the ball and decides to take it, those ends have to really kind of look at the situation, and they can't just crash in on the ball carrier being the running back. With Jakari, those ends have to kind of be in that position to contain, and they just can't crash inside, because if they do and the Jakari takes the ball back out, he could turn a 4-yard gain or a running play up the middle for 2 yards. He can take it outside for 50 yards. And that's really the threat that he brings you. He opens up rushing lanes that simply do not exist with Van Dyke or Garcia.
Right. And I don't think we have seen him like what we see in practice. I don't think we've seen him completely comfortable where he takes the ball and he takes off. He did it the other day. He got to the sideline. You saw some of his speed, but I've seen him make a decision, man, and get up the field. But of course, they don't hit him in practice, so you don't have that threat. But I've seen him get up the field in a hurry, bro.
On that drive where it ended with the Colby Young touchdown, he had this one run where he just had a burst. I mean, that looked like it was going to be a 3-4 yard gain, and he just shifted gears in a step, and he turned that into about 13-yard gain. I was like, whoa,
bro, listen, it's in there.
I was like, oh my, I go, where's this in?
It's in there. I think the whole game is called different. I don't know if that's what Gaddis needs in his offense. You probably know better than I do, like what he wanted to run, but he seems to be able to call the game a little different with Jakari.
Streeter, modern day football, many schools now have dual threat quarterbacks. You got to have that built-in default where if everything breaks down, a quarterback can just run, or there's a run threat. And there's very few quarterbacks that I see now that are slated to go in the first round that have no mobility. Bryce Young,
Right.
great feet. He can make plays. Certainly Hendon Hooker is a really good athlete. But Hendon Hooker now, and I love Hendon. He's one of my favorite players. You watch him now, he is a pass-first quarterback that just happens to have athleticism. That's the goal for Ja'Cory Brown. If you can develop like Hendon Hooker, you can walk out of here doing big things. You look at who's the other? C.J. Stroud, certainly a guy with a lot of athleticism. There are not that many quarterbacks now that you just say, well, that's like Dan Marino. Keep him in the pocket, you know? So I actually thought it was interesting that I think it was Mario Cristobal or Gaddis said we got to get Rashard Smith and X on the field at the same time. I'm thinking, shouldn't we have been doing that to begin with if it wasn't for injuries? I thought Rashard played a really strong game. So there's some possibilities, but I will say this. Georgia Tech is not Clemson. And some of the stuff that was successful probably is not going to be as successful this Saturday. I would hope that Gaddis allows Ja'Cory, hey, we're going to take some shots on first down because we just don't want you lining up and running into a 9-man front the whole game. That's not going to work.
Yeah. That was going to be like 30 degrees.
It's not going to be that cold, is it? Jeez.
That's what I heard.
Oh, boy.
That's what I heard. I just talked to somebody that's going up there. They said it's 30 degrees. I don't know how true it is, but he said it's going to be 30 degrees. 19 and a half underdog. KB, you in here? Vegas has been off with us.
Yeah.
All right, Vegas has been off with us all year long. They had us an underdog going into Georgia Tech. We beat them by 3 touchdowns. 19 and a half at Clemson. What you think about that, Kim?
I think it's deserved. I mean,
it is deserved.
It is. Look, first of all, we're going to Death Valley. Dabo seems to love beating Miami. And one thing we talked about this, Street, even when Miami's mediocre, which has been a lot of years, teams still love beating the U. There's still a cachet to this brand. And I'm assuming, is that going to be senior day for Clemson? Because I know they have to play South Carolina, but there's a lot on the line still. Clemson's still, number 10 in the country?
Number 10 in the country.
Yeah, so, and look, we have not played well in these big games in at least 4 or 5 years. The last time we really stepped up to the table and delivered was 2017 Notre Dame at home. And the biggest way we can win this game is to have our defense force 3 or 4 turnovers. And then their offense has been spotty. DJU's been a guy that's been benched here. And, it's obviously the freshman Cape Klubnik's the future of that program. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if we're going to be healthy enough on the offensive line to consistently move the ball. 19, I'm not going to mince it. That sounds about right.
Here's my thing, and I'm going to give an unpopular take. From the way we've played, Kim, yeah, that thing should probably be 24, right? I think.
Yeah. But what's funny though? We're a better road team for some reason.
We are a better road team.
I mean, just look at the record. We have not won a home game since Southern Miss. That's about 2 months ago.
I'm gonna say this. We can't expect anything from Don Chaney, right? I don't even expect him. I don't, because he's back. He's back practicing full season. I'm gonna say this. I think Ja'Cory covers that spread.
Ooh,
I do. I think we get a team that's going in there high. We believe in the quarterback. I think they believe we can score. Cam Kitchen's like, shit, I can just get the ball and give it back to him. I believe Ja'Cory. I believe Vegas jumped up at the wrong time with the wrong spread. Now I got a guy that runs the betting experts. He's giving betting advice. He hit for 100,000 this weekend. He had the Wake Forest over, and he had Miami. I just think my 50,000 on Miami covering. He says I'm drinking the Kool-Aid with Miami covering this week, but we haven't really got into it yet. I'll let y'all know what he say going a little later this week. But I think Vegas jumps up at the wrong time. And Vegas is great for not giving the black quarterback any fucking credit. Great for it, bro. I think Jakari could cover that spread, though.
If Jakari plays well, regardless of the result, let's say Jakari plays well.
Mm-hmm.
Does he seal the starting job for 2023 in your view?
Man, I think I saw it already, bro. I think anybody in that quarterback room has to be looking around like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was different.
Yeah.
like anybody in that quarterback room has to be looking around like, that looked different. I don't care if it was Georgia Tech, bro. We've played Duke, Middle Tennessee. We've played Virginia, lesser teams. Or it was just Georgia Tech. Well, we've struggled with lesser teams.
I'm not straighter. When you had that party and you had that thing, hey, you get a free shot for every touchdown. And I'm thinking to yourself, man, that's going to be the boringest, most sober party. That's going to be like a Christmas party at BYU. And then the first couple of drives, I was like, oh my God, I wish I would have went to that party. I mean, there must have been alcohol inebriation and poisoning.
The last touchdown, the owner of the club walked by me and said, when Cam Kitchens was running, he better not fucking score.
I mean, that Uber business must have been taken off because, again, let's not drive drunk. Let's be responsible. But it actually felt good. And look, our offense was spotty. Let's not act like we were the 1999 Rams, but it was actually good to put together some drives. And that offense looked, at times, like what a modern-day spread is supposed to. Running the ball, a quarterback that's a threat, taking a few shots. Now we got to add to it. My view is this. Jakari is the future of the program. This has not worked out for Tyler Van Dyke. And I feel bad for him because I wish he'd have a better experience. But if you want to do some big things next year, you cannot have a quarterback controversy. I don't believe in splitting snaps and all that. And by the way, I know a lot of people said, no, TVD comes back and Jakari becomes like the specialty short yardage quarterback. I'll be honest, that would feel like a letdown to me. And I'm sure Jakari seems like a very intelligent young man. I love the way he comes off. In his own mind, if that was his role next year, I think it would also be a letdown for him. That's just human nature.
Right. But he's so grounded, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's tool. Like he's the type of kid that'll go back to the bench and just like, hey, this is my role for the day. This is my role. He is so grounded. And that's what I said the first time we interviewed him. I left the podium and I looked at, I think his name is Matt, that writes for 247. I said, bro, he's going to win us a No, Matt Shad. Not Matt Shadell.
Oh, Shodell. Matt Shodell?
Not Shadell. What's the guy right for 247? Him and Gabby does the podcast sometimes.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
I looked at him and I said, bro, he's going to win us a national championship.
It's David, right?
David, yeah. And David said that was really impressive. You rarely see a kid go to the podium and be like, yeah, I'm the fourth string and I know it. I got a lot of work to do. But I'm here. He was just basically like, I'm here for it. I'm patient. I know there's things I need to work on. You rarely hear a kid talk like that. They all just on edge waiting to get in the game. And he spoke as if he knew he had 2 years of work in front of him. Go ahead, Kim.
I just really hope that if it is Jakari, and again, I am not expecting a lot of points against Clemson, but if you're Josh Gaddis, do not put him in a straitjacket because you understand we're going to have problems blocking that front four. I mean, they have NFL guys all over, led by Brazil. I would actually say, you know what? There's going to be 5 or 6 plays, and it's not just going to be on 3rd and 12. We're going to take some shots. I'm going to dial something up. It's either going to be a wheel route, deep post, and just actually see if Jakari can handle it.
So who?
But and I'd actually get Jalen Knighton into the screen game. but run an offense. Just don't go run, because that's a recipe for disaster. Let's let Jakari learn on the job here in a fair, proper way.
Right, I agree. So listen, man, 786-405-9499. If you can't comment, that's because only the football villains can comment until we get to 70% likes. I don't have Richard here telling y'all to hit the like button for me, so
hit the like.
I gotta hit the like button so we can get to 70%. We got 132 in here. We have 57. Once we get to 70%, somewhere around, I don't know. I went to public school, somewhere around 85, I guess, 90-ish, somewhere around there. Then we'll open it up. Everybody can comment. But the football villains are the only ones in here. $11 Jakari. We got an IOD Squad sale for $11. Just Jakari Brown's number. Once now we got 7 more people that if 7 more people sign up, then it'll go back to the regular price. That's where we invest or die, where we talk about investing in crypto and all this stuff. No, bro. I mean, I had to catch an Uber home this weekend, Kim. You had some good jokes, Kim, too. You was like, that's sponsored by AA. You had a whole monologue.
You had a whole monologue. Hey, straight. When I saw that flyer, I was like, oh God, they're not expecting any points. No bar owner says free drinks. No one does that.
Hey, oh, Miami didn't like it either. Look at us drinking, Kim. Look at us getting dropped, getting blasted.
Hey, by the way, Streeter, the other real exciting thing about that game, it is official defensively. The Wesley Besant era has started. That kid has it. That kid's the best pure freshman linebacker we have had since probably Denzel Perriman and Sean Spence. It is noticeable on the second level of our defense when he's not in the game.
What you like about him?
Everything. He's already built like a third-year player. And Mario always talks about knockback defenders. We don't have a lot of them, but when he hits, guys stay hit. He knocks guys back. He is a concussive tackler. And that one drive in the third quarter when he was out of the game, Caleb Johnson missed a tackle, turned an 8-yard pass into a 40-yard pass. And, there was another pass out into the flats that they were late to react. That stuff does not happen with Wesley B. I feel as though he's got to be out there almost every play. That's one guy I would not rotate in and out that much.
Wasn't that so weird when Caleb Johnson missed that tackle and spit the dude?
Yeah.
He spit him right to the free, like just by mistake. He ended up spinning him right to the direction where nobody was.
I'm just telling you, when Caleb made that play, I'm thinking, oh God, with Wesley, guys stay tackled. They really do. He made a couple of hits in the Virginia Tech game. I was like, wow, he is just blasting people. He's the type of tackler that in modern day football, he's a threat to get a targeting penalty almost every play because of the way he hits. It's that violent. And he will be a starting linebacker for the next, after this year, probably 2 more years. He looks like a 3-and-out guy. He's the type of guy that Miami has simply not had enough of in the past 15 years.
You know what, Kim? I don't know if we didn't have that guy or we didn't have that guy. Man, Manny had our linebackers in no man's land for a long time.
Yeah.
Like real talk, bro. It was like the linebackers were food for the offensive line.
Yeah. Shaq Quarterman was really good. Shaq was an excellent player, but he did not have the overall speed or twitch that Wesley B does. He is not the athlete Wesley is.
Look who Wesley's linebacker coach. Look who Wesley's first linebacker coach is, bro.
A real one. Charles Strong.
I told a story on Twitter, bro. About in Marine Corps boot camp. When you're in Marine Corps boot camp and you go to qualify, you have to qualify with the rifle, marksman, expert, yada yada. But if you don't qualify, you can't graduate boot camp. And they walk in the room and they say, 100 Marines in there. Well, we wasn't Marines, we were recruits at the time, head shaved and shit, stink and stuff. Who shot a weapon before? And dudes raised their hand. All the country boys in there, they've been hunting all their life. They raised their hand. And then he says, who hasn't shot a weapon before? I'm from the city of Miami, Kim. Never shot a gun in my life. Never shot a gun. Couple of us put our hands down, kind of embarrassed. We never shot a gun. He said everybody with their hand up that has shot a weapon before, you're probably going to fail this test the first time because you're not going to listen and you're not going to take coaching. He said the ones that never shot a gun, those are my experts. Kim, I was an expert for 4 years. I shot the highest you could shoot for 4 years, and it was easy to me. You know why? Because my first time shooting a gun, I learned the right way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I told that story on Twitter because it's like, it's not a dig on the kids that are here already, but it's like life is about change. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? I understand Lashley had one-word offenses. But life is about change. You got to learn how to pivot. You can't go stumping and, oh, man, damn, man, what the hell? I should have went with it. Life is about change. And I think that story, I think that story applies to what happens when a new coach comes in. And he didn't recruit you. Yeah, y'all not running the same offense that he promised you to run because your old coach is gone. Bro, that's a lot on kids, man. That is a lot for a kid to digest, dog. So you have to just learn how to roll with the punches, man. And I think for a lot of those kids, that's their first introduction to, hey, boy, life not fair.
Yeah.
You better get your ass up. Dust yourself off. Because life is not fair.
Oh, and Strader, another young guy that I like that I think needs to play more is Nigel Lee Kelly, but this is killing me. Can we stop dropping Nigel Lee Kelly in coverage?
He drops in coverage a lot?
He's our best pure edge rusher. But there was a 3rd and 14 that they convert. Nigel Lee is not meant to be a spy. He's not meant to drop. On 3rd and 14, he should have his hand in the ground, taking off towards the quarterback. Let's not overcomplicate this.
Man, in practice, he was killing our O-line. He doesn't seem to be as confident in the game as he is in practice. Am I wrong? Anybody actually watched him? I watched 365, my young guy Steve-O breakdown of the game last night, man. Those breakdowns be awesome. I can't lie, man. Him, Hayes, and I guess Roman.
Yeah, they do a good job. They all do a good job.
Right. But listen, if you break this game down and you can't give Gaddis any credit for this game, then F you, Kim. That's how I feel. I feel about it. If you can't give Gaddis any credit for this game and you breaking the whole goddamn game down and you just giving credit to the play, F you. That's how I feel about it. Because you got to get credit where credit is due, bro. Obviously, he can call plays in the red zone because he did it with the freshman quarterback, but he couldn't do it with TVD at Texas A&M. And I think I told y'all why.
We are going up against a highly athletic Clemson defense. They probably, they have a decided advantage up front. Their defensive line against our banged-up offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
For that particular game, I'd rather have the athletic quarterback. I will live with his mistakes. Is there any real difference between Miami this year going 6-6, 7-5, or 5-7? As far as I'm concerned, no. It's been kind of a disappointing year. But I want to play towards the future and develop the kids that one day in a year or two can help us get to the ACC, Coastal, and beyond. So with that said, give me number 11 behind center.
I don't think there's no way that they go away from him, bro. Maybe they go and maybe they send Tyler in there to the confuse. What we saw. Your guy, man, your guy down here called me before the game, right? Kim?
Yeah, JC.
Text me before the game, right? Hey, man, how you feel about today? Oh, man, we we got 7 offensive linemen. We got 2 running backs and a freshman quarterback starting. I see the text. Exactly what I texted back. I say, in order for us to win, Ja'Cory Brown has to have one of those breakout games that none of us ever forget. Because as he goes, people rally around him. I think it's the reason Tennessee is good because their goddamn quarterback is good. I think sometimes when your quarterback is good, the team can rally around it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, especially when he's like a leader. I said it to him, Kim. I was like, listen, he has to have one of those breakout games that we all remember and never forget. And shit, we scored the first drive. I was taking a shot. Shot.
Strader, and Rich, good to see you. The thing that really excites me is that if you saw Hendon Hooker in 2019, he was a very raw athlete. You look at Hendon Hooker now, he is a pass-first quarterback. He really is. If you actually look at the way Tennessee runs their offense, it's not like they do a lot of things for Hendon Hooker to just run around. He can when he has to, but he is now a really skilled passer. He throws as good a deep ball as any quarterback in the country. But there's been an evolution. He's developed his skill set. I don't know if Ja'Cory Brown is any better or worse than Hendon Hooker. Hooker was a really good athlete. He actually made his first start against us when they went up 28-0 in about 5 minutes at Hard Rock. And we blew that game late. And even Lamar Jackson, if you look at him his first year at Louisville, where he split snaps, you can make an argument that based on this game last week, Ja'Cory Brown's actually ahead of his development too. And that's what excites me. And that's why, to me, it makes no sense to pull him back and not give him the rest of the snaps in 2022.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think he's earned it. And it's a game-by-game basis. But, TVD's had his chance in a couple games. Garcia's had his chance to lead the team as well. I really think, and the biggest thing is we don't want to get Ja'Cory hurt, but I do think that it's a risk reward that you definitely have to take because the upside is there, the leadership is there. He's a guy who wants it. So.
Strader, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
You think we need? Yeah, I should have heard what I was saying. Yeah, I think we need to suspend Rich for the week and bring him back next week, man. Since we playing his alma mater.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what? I got something for you. Hold on one second.
you know, deep down inside, he want to run down that slide with the rest of the Tigers. He want to run down with Gabbo deep down inside. You know he do. This video right here you're looking at, this is Ja'Cory Brown versus Miami Northwestern in high school. Northwestern went up there one cold night, man, and got blasted by Ja'Cory. Cam Kitchens picked Ja'Cory off. How ironic, right? There go Cam Kitchens right there. Cam Kitchens picked Ja'Cory off, but they beat Northwestern 48-21 that night. They ran the ball on Northwestern, and Northwestern couldn't stop them. And Northwestern had that's the kid that went to Nebraska. They had Khalil. This boy got a Clemson hat on. You should get him out of here, huh? Khalil. They had Khalil. They had Kitchens. They had Romello. I think they had T2. That was the year that Northwestern was sorry and then went on a state championship playoff run and won state.
It's a house divided, man.
But one thing about Lowndes, I keep bringing up, man, Lowndes is the same school where the young kid was found dead and rolled up in the mat. Because I watched that documentary late one night, man, and they still haven't figured out. They still haven't figured out. Even if you watch the documentary, it's obvious who did it, but they still haven't solved it. You know what I'm saying?
Streeter, on that documentary on Netflix they did on Valdosta the year that Jake Garcia was there for like the first month of the season before he was ruled ineligible. The third or fourth episode, they ended up playing Lowndes, And Jakari Brown was in that game, and he dominated physically. They couldn't tackle him. They just could not catch him. But, I mean, one thing is obvious because he threw some deep passes. Look, he has a rifle. That arm strength is not a question with him. You just have to kind of clean up his footwork and how he steps, clean up his base. But you don't ever have to worry about his arm strength. That's the thing that is so exciting about him. And that's why I'm like, you know what? In my view, guys, this right here is really the beginning of spring ball and transitioning to 2023. Because we know there's going to be a lot of changes from a personnel standpoint. I think there's going to be a real purging and a turning over of the roster. But there are several young pieces in place that I'm very excited about. There's going to be the foundation of next year's team and beyond. And what's the most important position in football? It's the quarterback. So let's start feeding this guy as many snaps as possible.
That's the engine.
Right. Rich, man, they canceling you in the football villain group me, dog. They saying cancel Rich, dog. They done screenshotted you already and all, bro.
Man, it's a house divided, man. It's just one of those things. It's the alma mater, you know.
So
I can't wait.
Clemson is like your second team?
Yeah, that's my second team.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Rich, what years did you go to Clemson?
I went there 04 to 06.
Oh, so you were there during the last years of Tommy Bowden, or in the middle of that, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, because Tommy was there till about 2009 or 10, right? Then Dabo took over.
He was, and I remember that transition. And the players really advocated for Dabo big time. They really wanted him to be the coach. He was young at the time, very relatable to the players. So, you know, they were like, they kind of rode and for him and was like, yeah, we want Dabo to be the coach. And they listened.
It took Dabo about 4 or 5 years to really set this thing up. I still remember them giving up 70 points in a bowl game to West Virginia. I think Kevin Steele may have actually been the coordinator in that Orange Bowl. When they gave up, I remember Tavon Austin having a monster game.
A monster game, yeah.
He looked like the greatest player. He looked like Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl 88. I mean, he was unbelievable that game. And the big win, the year that they beat LSU in the Peach Bowl, kind of started like, okay, Clemson's serious. They're not Clemsoning anymore. Like, they were going to be serious. And they went on this 8-year run. It's almost like a dynasty. Outside of Bama, probably the second most dominant college football team since that point forward.
Man, I remember when people used to call it Clemsoning, and and I remember Dabo's story about getting what's his name? Not before Sammy Watkins, it was CJ Spiller, and he said he threw haymakers at CJ, like visiting him, coming down to Florida. He did not think CJ was going to come here, but CJ was from kind of a country area, I think Lake Gibson. And CJ was like, I felt kind of, it was a quiet place, and that's where I wanted to go to school. So when CJ showed up, he was surprised that CJ showed up on campus. And that's kind of when everything changed. I mean, everything changed for Clemson when Clemson started to mix in those guys from Florida, like we're talking about CJ, like we're talking about Sammy Watkins, and they knew that they had to beat Georgia head to head, and they did that. They beat Georgia head to head, and that's what opened up recruiting for the state of Georgia for them. And they was already dominating South Carolina and parts of North Carolina too, and that's where they got all those linemen from. They consistently get a lot of D linemen from North Carolina, little areas like Bamberg, South Carolina, where nobody knows where it's at, where you got a bunch of country farm boys, and they kind of built off of that.
Yeah, and Taj Boyd, he's the forgotten quarterback in Clemson history. He was the guy right before Deshaun Watson, but he led to some big victories. Taj Boyd is the forgotten man in Clemson football history.
He did. And some people think, because I remember watching Taj Boyd, and he smashed every record in terms of passing yardage and everything else. And he was at Clemson for like 5 years. And him not being, playing at the next level was kind of, people kind of looked at that and you hate it for the kid because he really put his heart and soul into the Clemson program. But but I'm just reading the comments. But he's still in a good place because Clemson, if he wants to coach, I think they'll definitely welcome him back. But it was a journey, man. To be honest with you, that 8-year period was a journey, and that's what people don't understand. Like, from taking over a disheveled program to getting blown out in a bowl game to not having the right recruits, and it's not like here at Miami where you have guys in your backyard. They actually had to go win South Carolina from the Gamecocks because at that time, I think prior to Dabo taking over, we had lost for like 5 years in a row, something like that.
Well, Dabo couldn't beat South Carolina at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Spurrier used to pile on him all the time.
Right. Right. So, but once we started it, I remember the first time we beat them in a while, and I think we beat them like 63-13. It was crazy. It was.
Well, you guys blow them out on the regular now, and then I remember the end of the Tommy Bowden era where it really began was the 2008 opener. You guys played Bama in one of those kickoff games, and you guys just got blown out, and it was never the same for Bowden. That just felt like, it's not going to happen for Bowden. That was Saban's second year when they played Florida really tough in the SEC finals.
Right.
That championship game.
And for the guys in the chat, this is a UM shirt, so it's a house divided this evening.
They're going off on them. They don't think there's no joke, dog. They going off on them. They going off on y'all. If you don't know, Rich graduated from Clemson, Penn State, fucking Auburn. Rich Drum went to every goddamn school. Yeah, so he graduated. You got your bachelor from Clemson?
I only went to Clemson for 2 years. Then I finished at it's University of Arizona's online program now, and then I went ahead and got the master's from Penn State.
Rich, were you at the Miami Clemson 2005 game, that triple overtime? I went to that game. It's one of the funnest trips ever.
In Miami?
No, the one at Clemson.
Oh yeah, I was there.
That's the one that Kenny Phillips wrapped it up with that.
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize this. So Kenny Phillips picks off the ball in triple overtime, and we win. And next thing I know, all the fans were coming on the field, and I'm like, wow, Clemson fans are rushing the field after all. I had no idea that was a tradition that they did that every game. Like people were saying, hey, how come Clemson's rushing the field after the Louisville? When I go, folks, they do that every game. That's a tradition. They're not really rushing the field.
Yeah, man.
But I gotta say,
every game.
Every game, everybody comes on the field.
Yeah, people take photos. They play catch. They actually let those folks stay on the field for a good half hour. It's like a family thing.
It's a family thing.
Yeah, so I went on the
like that.
Yeah, you can celebrate with the players. A lot of the Miami guys were still hanging around. That was Kenny Phillips's freshman year. Our quarterback was Kyle Wright, and that's when Kyle actually looked pretty good. We nearly lost that game, but Clemson overthrew Chancey Stuckey in one of the overtimes, and Stuckey was wide open on a corner route. Charlie Whitehurst overthrew him. That's after we had lost to Florida State on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, man. I remember seeing Calvin Johnson as a freshman. Oh, my God.
Ooh.
We didn't know what hit us. We was like, who the fuck is this? This dude came in there. Yeah, he was – I was sitting right in the corner end zone when he caught the first touchdown. He mossed like our corner and our safety. And I was just like, man, we in for a long game. I think he ended up with 3 or 4 touchdowns that game. Nobody knew who he was before then.
And Rich, in 2005, I remember the Miami section where we were. we were on the opposite side of the hill in Howard's Rock. That's when you guys were building that part of the end zone because you guys were renovating that whole side of the stadium. You guys added like another 10,000 seats because that stadium looks much different than when I went there.
Much different. Oh man, it's like night and day. We didn't like from that student section and where you run down the hill. That whole section on the other side wasn't even there. Now they added the jumbotron thing in the back now.
Yeah.
So
it's
crazy.
Tell you, the Clemson fans were very nice. Honestly, it's one of those really nice college cities or towns. We went to the Esso station, which is a former gas station or whatever, the Esso club. And people were really nice. There was really no issues. I think most of the Miami fans really enjoyed that trip.
Yeah, man. It's Esso club.
First of all, likes. We're almost there. We're almost at 70% likes. We're close. Once we get to 70, we're gonna open up. Shout out to Grads became a member. Once we get to 70, we'll open it up. We got 155 and 82. Come on with that Clemson education. Rich, what percent is that, Rich? Huh?
So 160, we need about 110 likes. 110.
Well, we need 10 more likes.
70%.
You said, shout out to Jacoby Graggs, man. Just became a member. Jacoby, go to the community section so you can get into the group meet. I went on a visit to Clemson and with Keith Brown and Haggard and out with all those kids. And when you walk in, first thing they were playing was that game where they beat Alabama in tour. They playing on a big screen and it's talking about how they had no chance and nobody gave them a chance. And remember that? And they went out there and
the 2016 national title game.
And they went out there and put it on it was tour in Alabama, right? And the video is weird because the video probably would never leave Clemson because the video is very disrespectful to Alabama, dog.
Oh, wait a minute. The game they beat Tua was the third time they played. Not the one that Deshaun Watson won, but the one that Trevor Lawrence was the freshman. That's the 2000.
Trevor Lawrence run, I think. The one where they were the underdog. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the 2018 game in San Francisco or the Bay Area, the Niners stadium.
They lost.
They blew them out that game. They blew them out that game. God, dog.
Yeah, right. And then they took us on a tour of the facilities, bro. And come on, man. That's just like Disney World or football or something, dog.
Did you go down that slide?
Yeah.
You would.
I would. I know. Don't go ahead. Be a kid. Go down that slide.
Yeah. I actually did. I did go down the damn slide.
They got that bowling alley in there.
They got everything for them kids in there, bro.
Streeter, that 2018 game, if you recall, they were actually calling Alabama maybe the greatest team ever. And I'm thinking of myself, and they were actually saying they were better than the 2001 Miami team, and they just got their doors blown off. I think it was T. Higgins and Justin Ross. They couldn't cover either of them. That's one of those games where Saban's DBs really struggled. But that's the thing, though, people don't understand, and you've been there, Streeter. These facilities that Miami was competing against back then, they didn't have a shot. They really didn't. They didn't have any of those things to compete. And that's what they're going to have within 2 years, probably, the football facilities.
It's like Cristobal said, it's like they had to build the playground at McDonald's. They had to build it.
They had to.
They had to because it's nothing out in College Station. There's nothing out in town. In oh my God, especially not Clemson. There's nothing out in town. So they basically built a football facility, golf. I think it has like tennis, golf, basketball courts, barbershop, Walgreens. It's a Walgreens there. It's like a drugstore. It's like a drugstore there, dog. And that's how they had to build it in order to convince these kids to come and live there for 3 years. It's like going to boot camp or something. I don't know. But girls, a little different.
Well, they must treat them well, though, because there was that 1 year where they had a whole defensive line that was first-round draft choice, like Christian Wilkins and 2-3 other guys that were really good. I think even their backup got drafted. They all came back for their senior year.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that was. Remember that? Dabo, they ripped Dabo. Look, there's a lot of people that don't like Dabo. All I know is this. Last year, they were one of the few programs, Rich. I don't know if you knew this. You know, Clemson didn't have a single guy leave the program.
Right.
That says a lot about Dabo and the way they treat their players. You know, they must like what's going on over there. They must actually like Dabo Swinney. And I know that probably kills people to hear that.
I mean, the biggest part with Clemson is they recruit a certain type of player. Like, Clemson is all about family. It really is. Like, usually they recruit guys that have, you know, mom and dad at home if possible, or have a friend. They recruit. They try to look for guys with the mentality of Ja'Cory Harris every time.
Ja'Cory
They
Brown?
want the Ja'Cory Brown. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said. I was thinking Ja'Cory Harris. Ja'Cory Brown. That's why they were recruiting Ray Ray. Ray Ray's a 4.0 kid. That's the type of kid they recruit. So that's kind of they start there.
I don't think that what's that quarterback? What was that quarterback? Is it Clemens? I don't think he'd agree with you.
Clemens?
Yeah, what was the quarterback that left?
Which one?
The one that left when Sunshine came.
Oh, Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly. I don't think he'd agree with that, Rich.
Oh no, Kelly was a good kid. Kelly was a great student too.
I don't think he's gonna agree with you on that family stuff. Like, I'm telling you, Coach Hayes told you. He don't told you about that family stuff, man.
No, but you know what? It's like Godfather. It's never personal. It's always business.
Exactly.
You had to play Lawrence. They were never going to beat Bama unless they had Trevor Lawrence and his downfield threat. Do you agree with me, Rich?
I 100% agree with you. As a matter of fact, they pulled DJ Uyunglele a couple games ago for Klubnik.
Right. It's nothing personal.
And they won the game. And then they asked Ungalele about it, and Ungalele said, "Listen, man, it's 85 people on this team, not just me."
It was Kelly Bryant. That's his name, Kelly Bryant.
Kelly Bryant, yeah. Kelly Bryant wasn't a bad. He wasn't bad at all.
Kelly Bryant was really good, but
he couldn't throw.
When they played Alabama in the semifinal game in New Orleans that one year, 2017, that offense was so one-dimensional. They were never going to beat Alabama with that quarterback. He was good enough to win the ACC, but if you are a one-dimensional run offense against Bama, you have no shot. And I still remember the game where Dabo decided, you know what, I got to pull the trigger here. Because didn't he switch off quarterbacks, Rich, against A&M? You guys played at College Station, and he kind of switched off quarterbacks. And this is where Dabo has a lot of guts. He said, you know what, Kelly, I love you, but I love my program and winning a little bit more. I got to go with the freshman kid. And I'm just telling you, there's no way they do what they did to Bama in 2018 if it wasn't for the passing ability of Trevor Lawrence. Do you agree or disagree, Rich? I just,
I 100% agree. And I was hot when they did that, because you saw Kelly wait his turn. He's a over 3.0 student, above 3.0. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, come on now. Like, why are we doing that?
Right.
And, it's a lot of things that came up. Dabo almost lost the locker room by doing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
but then he won a title.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for Christian Wilkins and that D-line said, you know what? All y'all boys better get in line. Because their D-line was really the soul of that team. And they took Trevor under their wing and was like, look, if he don't want to be here to win another ship, so be it. But we rolling with Trevor. Whoever mad about it, they really, the D-line held it down. Christian Wilkins and those guys. And when Christian Wilkins was like, yo, we rolling like this, everybody else fell in line and said, let's get back to work and do what we got to do.
Kelly Bryant left there and went where? Kelly Bryant left.
Didn't he go to A&M?
Missouri. He went to Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah, that's right. He went to that one, yeah.
And then he went undrafted. Now he's at the Toronto Argonauts. Now he played for the FCF Zappers. He who was the quarterback coach there? Was it Ron Paulus? It was a guy that played for the Buffalo Bills. Was the quarterback coach
For which school?
for Clemson?
For Clemson? I thought it was Brandon Streeter. Wasn't he the?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, played for the.
Because Streeter played for Clemson years ago.
Well, maybe he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a quarterback trainer or something. Because I spoke with him. Maybe he was just a trainer, guy in the background. I think it was Ron Paulus. I think it was. He told me. He said, "Bro, listen." I said, "Y'all had a little dilemma with Kelly Bryant," and he said it was no dilemma. He said, he said it was no dilemma. He said, "Bro, it was hands down. We knew we had Jesus as quarterback here, sitting here waiting, because you could see it in practice. You know what I'm saying?" And he's like, "It was a no-brainer. It was a tough decision for Dalbo, but it was a no-brainer that
Rich,
if we're saying we're going to play the best players, this guy's the best player."
Look, the players know. They're at practice every day. And you're right. If it was close, or if Kelly Bryant really had the upside of Trevor, I think, then the players are like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But look, Trevor Lawrence is a gifted guy. I remember watching some documentary that he was a part of at age like 16. He had the look of an NFL guy as a junior in high school. He's just one of those guys you look at and you're like, okay, that guy's going to get drafted one day. He will be holding up a jersey with Roger Goodell. And that there was a couple throws in that Alabama game, especially one, I think, in the back of the end zone where I think it was T. Higgins stretched out like plastic, man. And that was just like, wow. And there's guys in the NFL that couldn't make those throws. You know, I have never seen, like, even when Bama loses now, it's always a high-scoring, close game. It's always like 49-45, right? And they end up losing at the end. I've never seen Bama get blown out like that.
And they got blown out. I went to that game.
Go ahead.
I sat in the I sat on the 50 in the Alabama section, right? And you know, after the first quarter, Jerry Jeudy obviously had the
post, the deep post.
Yeah, he had the deep post, and then we came back and scored. And I said, you know, guys, it's going to be a back and forth game. You know, I was saying that, you know, to console them because they saw it. And the next thing you know, we just started going bombs over Baghdad.
Rich, when Tua threw that interception in the second quarter, and then you guys just jammed it down their throat to go ahead by like 2 scores, I remember thinking, are they actually going to blow them out? And it just kept like Bama never made a run. Like you guys just demoralized them. And there was that one play where you ran that switch route, and one of the Bama defensive backs slipped, and it's like 80 yards. I said, oh, my God. People better keep this game in a capsule because you don't see Saban does not get blown out. He really doesn't.
Right. And they had elite talent on that team, too. So it wasn't a fluke at all. But that defense that year was and you know what's crazy? The Clemson defense, when you look at what they do with the D-line, it's very similar to what Warren Sapp talked about. Like, that D-line is crashing towards the quarterback every single snap. That's what they do. It's sometimes they don't need a blitzer because their line is just crashing towards the quarter. Like they are imposing their will and pushing you back. It's what Miami used to do. So
y'all hear the pass, Rich, when he talk about Clemson? Y'all hear him getting a hard on? You see him?
I could just see the pride. I could just
see
feel it.
Oh my God! Y'all see Rich dog? He'll never talk about you like that. You see him? He's lying, just crashes. D-line just keeps calling and swarming. I see the passion that Rich talking about Clemson, dog.
You hear him using words like we and us and
He's about to drop an IPK. Wants to make an IPK donation right now. I mean, damn.
Look at him, dog. He's at the pad. And Dabo, man, that guy is so smooth. He's walking down the hallway. You can see him. Man, you see Richard here? You see Richard here switching out on us, man?
The nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated ball.
Hey, Streeter, I gotta get going to something, man. Good hanging out with you guys. I'll continue listening.
Appreciate
Good
you,
hanging
dog.
out, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Kim.
Damn, dog.
Hey,
Manny,
man.
what's going on, bro?
I don't know, man. Hey, look, Rich. I'm gonna set it up, man. You and Coke Dog got a slap box in the parking lot of the flea market, man.
Coke dog fuming in there, ain't he? Coke dog, man. See, you
Battle of the alums, man. That's outrageous. I got a slap box
I still got the Miami shirt on.
for the city, man. I got a slap box, man.
I'm still repping
Hey,
you.
look, next time y'all have an event and Rich come, hey Rich, don't sit by me, bro. You gonna get jumped on your own. I ain't gonna Medi might have your back, but I ain't finna be fighting 500 Hurricanes fans. Y'all can have it.
That man, True Color coming out tonight. You see him, dog?
Hey, come on now. and hey, I'm not ever gonna wear no Penn State stuff on here. So, especially since Danny Mia's over there, I'm not doing that.
But you a Tiger at heart. Listen, 786-459-4499. We got a $11 IOD Squad sale, bro, for Ja'Cory Brown. It's on sale for $11. I think we got 5 more. Let me check. 4 more people. If they get in, I'll go ahead and put it back to the regular price. It was like 25 people. The football villains brought up most of them. The link is in the description and is at the top. Miami's a 19.5 underdog. Jesus Christ. 19.5 underdog. Medi, Cal, y'all agree with that, bro?
I'm not saying that I agree. I'm saying that this is one of them games that in the past we'll fuck around and win this game and be trying to figure out how the hell it happened.
How far back past you talking about? Where we going? 83. Where you at? 35. Where you at? Where you at with this? Huh? Snellenberger, what we talking about? Jimmy Johnson?
99 UCLA.
Oh yeah, I just think it's one of those program defining things that when you try to get buy-in, you're trying to see what the future holds, that guys just end up showing up. The moment isn't too big. They don't piss down their leg. Now I'm not saying that absolutely can't happen because there's a very likely chance that it could. I just think I
got
don't know,
enough of that.
these guys. These guys are doing the right thing. And I think there's a different energy right now around the program. Now that could get wiped out. Like I said, play a bad game, make a bunch of mental mistakes. You can end up pissing that all away. But I feel good about the trajectory for this game. So we'll see.
I feel right. I just said it. I think Vegas went in on us at the wrong time. We deserve 19 points. We do. But man, after watching Ja'Cory and the team kind of rally behind it, not saying that Cam's gonna get another 3 interceptions. I just had Ukulele, whatever his name is. I just had his stats up there. But I think they gave us. I think they finally caught up too late. I think Ja'Cory can cover this spread, bro. I do. Cal, what you think?
I think the same. I think we deserve the spread, but I do think we can cover. We definitely deserve the spread, but I definitely think we can cover. I'm actually gonna bet on that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm betting you in favor on that one.
Spread or the money line? I wonder what's the money line. Woo-hoo-hoo.
I'm gonna do the spread. I don't know. I don't really gamble like that, so I'm gonna ask my boy. But I'm telling them 19 is too much for me, even though we deserve it, and it's more than possible. They beat our ass by 30, but I'm gonna take that bet.
If we lose by 30, I see it being a situation where Ja'Cory like legitimately struggles and throws like a bunch of bad interceptions, stuff like that. But like
just break
from a talent perspective,
right?
Yeah, from a
Which
talent
could
perspective,
happen though.
I don't know if Clemson's seen a secondary this talented all season.
Ugh, but
Our secondary.
Middle Tennessee has, so yeah, Middle Tennessee has, so I'm not gonna do that one, Mitty.
Nah, we're not doing that, Kyle. We're not doing that.
Everybody ain't doing
That was a pass. You know what I'm saying? And if someone pointed it out today on that video I posted in the thing, I don't agree with nothing that too many things that Roman Kane says, and I'm not endorsing him, but he did point out that the way that Cam gets in the film room, you can tell, and there's a tangible difference because he said that Georgia Tech tried to run the same deep passing scheme where they set the slot underneath to suck the linebacker down into the hole, and then they throw the open receipt. They throw the open route underneath. Cam read it, and Middle Tennessee had did it to him, and Cam got greedy and took the drop instead of playing the receiver. When he came down and he read it and improved on that, that's how he was able to find that 99-yard interception. That's a testament to – that's why I said we're not doing that, because that's a testament to him getting in the lab and being a master at his craft. And I think that's huge because a lot of people don't understand. Like, and I think when you do that and you have that type of performance, I don't give if you've been on a team before, I don't give a F who you are. When that happens, you start following that person. You start following that guy. So when you see somebody Cam Kitchen have a performance like that, and then Alonzo Highsmith and Kevin Steele's all saying, like, in the years we've been around football, we've never seen anything like that before in a game. That's where a buy-in starts coming at. Mind you, true sophomore, right?
Alonzo Highsmith said that?
Yeah, he said that.
He did?
He said he's never scouted a player in all his years that he was working with the NFL that had a game like that.
Oh, damn.
Who
Kevin
said
Steele
that?
said, I've been Alonzo Highsmith. He tweeted it. It's on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Really? That's kind
It's
of
on Twitter.
shocking. I think.
And he tagged Cam Kitchen in it too. Go look on Twitter.
That's a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game, bro.
The man got a helmet stick
It
from
was,
ESPN,
but
you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's gonna be on some. I ain't seen, hey, thoughts and prayers with everybody in UVA. I seen that they've been kind of focused on that, so they ain't put out no weekly awards or anything like that for the ACC. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna be ACC Defensive Player of the Week. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna be on some type of Jim Thorpe award. He might have just punched himself up into being some type of finalist, semifinalist for some postseason award with that, because you can't lead the nation interceptions and then suddenly say, shout out to E1K, just posted in the group me chat.
That's what's up.
You can't lead the nation in interceptions and then suddenly not be a Jim Thorpe Award finalist. Like, there's no way. That's what for years we praised guys at LSU and Florida for doing that. And you mean tell me now Cam Kitchens ain't gonna? There's no way he could be in that conversation. Trust me, and mind you, I don't like the hype, especially the preseason hype. We all learned the hard lessons from that this year, but he gonna be on somebody's watch list for a postseason award this year. He's definitely gonna be on somebody's watch list top of next year. And the same way we were talking about, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden, Alabama and this vaunted secondary with all these South Florida kids. Don't turn your back on what Adai's doing down here, because he definitely has made some strides with that team. So in the secondary. So once again, DJ Uiagalelei, you got the stats pulled up, Street. He might have one, maybe 200-300+ yard throwing games this season. He's been primarily a runner. And the same thing that they knock at Jacory for, like, Jacory ain't taking no shots downfield. DJ Uiagalelei been starting for 2 seasons. He ain't been doing that consistently this year either. So I'm not saying the stars are aligning. What?
I don't think he's thrown for 300 yards yet. Oh, that was it. Yeah, Wake Forest one time.
Yeah, and that was a damn shootout in like 16 overtime. So
right. He averages like 200 yards a game passing, like 60 rushing. Shipley is the problem, right?
That's what I was about to say. The problem ain't the quarterback. It's Shipley and what's his name? Shipley, Maffa, and the other guy.
We got the light-skinned warrior coming through. A lot of people didn't believe in this kid. They thought he was a phony, but he seems to be the real one. He's averaging 5 yards a carry, 97 yards a game. I mean, he's averaging 5 yards a carry, not 97 yards a game. He had 97 versus Louisville. He averaged 5 versus Louisville. Well, shit, he does average about 5 yards a carry.
Shipley is gonna probably be another running back in the league in that, Taysom Hill, CMC mode. So
Yeah.
because of that, you got to contain him because we all know on draft night what they're gonna do. He could have 400 yards rushing on some other team, but they're gonna pull everything that he did against Miami when they show him highlights.
So here's my thing. Let me say this real quick. Here's my thing about what you were saying about the secondary. The problem is it's not you have individuals that can do some things, but the problem is going to be the schematics. I think Adai has done a wonderful job with these guys, but I'm still seeing fucking Corey Flagg in fucking pass coverage and dropping back 20 yards and all this kind of goofy shit. Kim just said it. You see Najee Kelly dropping back and shit in coverage. Like that, all that kind of stuff, they gotta stop and gotta be corrected. And especially when y'all start moving on and talking about Shipley and stuff, we got to make sure the right people are on him, and it can't just be Wesley. I'm hoping they put James does great with backs out the backfield. Like he did really good with what's your boy at Texas A&M A-Chain or whatever. Like James does his job. That the problem is oftentimes we don't leave that responsibility up to James consistently. We'll put a linebacker on somebody or just leave the guy open in space and run some zone, whatever. That's the problem. So the schematics got to fit the game. Like I'm with you, Mehdi, 100%. Adai has done a bang up job with these guys. I think you probably starting to see some buy-in. Cam is amazing, all that good stuff. But if we don't set these boys up right, it's not going to work right. And still gotta do something a little different from what he's been doing. Not that he has to shock the world, but he's got to make sure his guys are in good position all game to help him win.
Right.
I agree. I think this is where we start seeing possibly the emergence of a Wesley Bissett. And you might have to see a Keontae Smith a little bit to kind of match up with Shipley.
I agree.
Because I cannot watch. I'll cut the fucking TV off. I cannot watch Corey Flagg attempted to follow Will Shipley out the backfield. If that happens, we're gonna lose the game. Because he's gonna make it. This man was jumping over people last week, doing whatever the hell he wanted in the open field. If he had to guard Corey Flagg, we lose that 10 times out of 10.
Oh yeah,
he cannot. And that's nothing against Flagg. I want people to understand that's nothing against Flagg.
It's not.
Warren Sapp said it best. Don't ask me to do something I'm physically not capable of doing.
Facts. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is where you gotta see a Wesley Bissett, you gotta see a Keontae Smith that's gonna impose their will on this dude and be like, he ain't running for 100 on us. I know that.
Right.
And if those things happen, then you kind of nullify the rest of that team because. I gotta go back and look at the stats. I ain't trying to take that away from the rest of the team, but we have to. Our secondary, I take our secondary right now over there receivers because I don't see anybody on that receiving core that's absolutely blowing people out the water. Yeah.
Oh, number 0, you got to watch out for him. Okay. He's a freshman too, true freshman.
They got the sophomore, right? They got the young kid. Remember the young kid? David was the only one that had a kid that came out with James that was actually balling. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ngata's good. Those are their 2 top receivers, and I will say this too. Clemson has a great secondary.
Oh no, well, I'm talking about my bad. Yeah, I'm talking about the safety, right?
Oh, Makuba. Yeah.
Man, where you get these guys from?
Clemson has a great
Nkumba, Ngaba.
Apparently Wakanda.
They were doing the Wakanda. They were recruiting in Wakanda. They'll come back with a bald head chick soon.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be big to see as well. Like, how do we scheme it up to get our guys open? I just saw a tweet from Caneville where it said that X and Rashad is going to be on the field at the same time. I think that's a wonderful game plan. Because to basically out scheme them because they like to use those slot guys a lot. So if I think that'll be a great game plan to do end arounds. The other thing too, when you play teams like Clemson, you play Alabama's, you play Georgia, right? You play these top flight teams, they always play all 4 quarters. They always play one snap at a time. And you got to win more snaps than they win. So it's going to be one of them games where those end arounds are going to count. Those slants for 7 yards are going to count. Everything is going to count because if you drop a ball just because you think you're going to get the next one, you may not get the next one. That's how they play. So that's the level of focus you got to have in that game because they're going to look for everything to capitalize on in terms of the mistakes that you make.
So listen, man, 786-405-9499. We started this thing off with an interview from Deshaun Perry, kid out of Gulliver, was one of the kids that got shot. I think that was this morning. Was that this morning?
No, I think it was the night after their game. Like they were coming off of the bus in a parking garage, like post game, and I guess the dude was waiting in the parking garage. Apparently, was a player that was there in 2018.
Oh, 2018.
Yeah, he was the guy who did the shooting was a player who played for Virginia in 2018.
Why? What, he was angry about something?
I don't know.
Did they catch him?
From my understanding, they had him in custody.
Yeah, I think they caught him. So yeah, we just asked y'all hit the like button for us, man. Try to get the likes up to keep it around 70-80%. $11. Shout out to Jakari. $11 IOD Squad. You get an IOD Squad for $11. I think 4 more people can get in for $11. The link is pinned at the top. Anybody think we could win after watching what y'all watched the other day? And it looked like guys are responding because we were beat up going into that game. People out there blocking. We still need to get Mallory some help, man. God, you gotta get Mallory some help, dog.
You gotta give him some help. At the end of the day,
them breakdowns be killing Mallory, man. Yeah, every missed block.
Man, put his ass on the bench. I'm tired of that shit. You man, I'm tired of that, dog. That's how else do you get kids to respond without disciplining them, bro? You can't keep just sending him out there. He's our captain and blah blah blah. He don't block worth a damn. And it's not the fact that he can't block, it's the effort, dog. Trip somebody on your way to the ground. Stop falling all the damn time, bro. I'm tired of seeing all that shit, man. Guy slant right by him and he just fall on the ground. Dog, I see Restrepo block somebody on the screen, stuck to him. Man couldn't go nowhere. And I can't get Will Valley to block cornerbacks, dog. Come on, man.
Restrepo is a whole ass 5'5", and I saw him put his damn hands through somebody's chest on multiple times. Mind you, Restrepo had 1 catch for like 11 yards, maybe. If anybody should be upset based off the volume of catches he was getting, it should be him. But I still saw, and I see why it's counterproductive, right? You got him as a captain of Mallory, but Mallory just seemed to do one thing right, and that's just catch if the pass is open. Well, he catching contested stuff too, but like you're not a wide receiver, my guy. And if you are, you still got to block. And I'm watching Restrepo with 1 target, blocking his ass off for screens for the guy who probably is gonna eventually take his spot. Like,
right?
Fucking Kyler's right. Like at some point, like, what are we doing? And then we're sitting here highlighting against that same UVA team. You know what I'm saying? How Khalil Brantley was absolutely crushing people at the point of attack as a blocker. And probably could have had a game-winning, 2-point conversion, I guess. But I don't know. It throws me. What class is Brantley in?
I think he's a redshirt sophomore.
What year is he in?
He came out the same year as Romello.
Okay.
So he's a redshirt freshman.
Okay. So we got time because yeah, I don't know, man. You can't ask people.
We got to get him on the field.
Yeah, you can't ask one person to do one thing and then don't give him barely any targets when he's doing everything else right, and then he's a captain, but the other captain who is consistently struggle blocking all year.
Right.
You don't got no struggles. We got to catch that damn touchdown. I know that.
I'm telling you, Street. How do you I don't even know what I'm looking for, but what do you say to that if Khalil Brantley at the end of the season says, "Man, I'm out of here," and I'm not saying that to be a major loss, but we just talking about from a cultural standpoint, right? You tell a kid just like the other day. So Graves' daddy came out and said what he said, and everybody's like, "Man, shut up!" Yada 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 yada. Which they right, he should, bro, be quiet. But if and all these other guys you're talking about, oh, he might transfer, and everybody's like, bye, bye, bye. You know what I'm saying? But then you got a kid like Khalil, like, hey, bro, I've been sitting here, I've been quiet. 2 years I've been doing what I need to do. This year I'm doing what y'all asking me to do. We get to the end of the season, bro. I'm still not getting no targets. I'm still not getting more playing time. But the guy in front of me is doing the opposite of what you asked him to do. And you telling me to do what? So when a kid like that leaves, what you got to say about that? You know what I'm saying? You got to hold everybody accountable, players and coaches. But you're gonna have people like that, and all we want to do is look at the kids and act like they soft or they just want it all right now and all that shit. No, somebody in front of me ain't doing their job, and I'm doing mine. I'm gonna get pissed off and leave too.
At what point? Okay, whatever it is Mallory does off the field or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that had them make him a captain. He has to be doing something, right? Kind of like what Carter was doing, there, maybe
not leaving. That's what he's doing. That's got to be it.
Cal, at what point, Cal? Right, Mallory. Does Mallory play in the league? Does he make it to the pros? Anybody? Bueller.
I see a team picking him up, but like I said, he gonna have to either test well because they do blocking drills during the combines and the pro days, right? Like,
yeah, they do.
They're not out there just running post routes and all like the receivers do. Like they have to block. They have to, and so when they see that, and let me play devil's advocate. It's frustrating as it is. It might be a shoulder thing. Right? So he always got his damn shoulder wrapped up. So it might be a thing where he ain't trying to mess it up any more than he needs to. But at the same time, if that's the case, don't play. It's right. You have nothing to prove to us. Like more likely he's gonna get drafted. He ain't no top, first round pick, top 5 pick by no means. But
I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I was gonna say yes. No, I'm gonna tell you why not. When you watch him run now, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. This boy can't. Something is wrong with his legs. I don't know what it is. It doesn't look good. So last year I gave him.
He ran fast at one time.
Something different. He did at one.
One time this year.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like when he first came in, dog.
Let me ask you a question. I think it's give and take with him, right? I think he leads us in receiving, dog.
He does.
I think he leads us in receiving. I think he leads us in catching. So I think it's give and take with him. I think it's like he's not a great blocker, but God damn it, he's leading us in receiving. Do we make a point with him at the end of his career? What example does that make to the kids? I understand what you're saying, Cal, but you see how it can go either way.
No, damn all that, bro. You do. You should have did it the first couple of games when you saw this shit. Now at the end of the season, it's probably too late. Probably don't look as good. But yes, you do that in the early season and let them know that everybody's held accountable. The same way Greg Popovich used to yell at Tim Duncan and David Robinson. You make sure everybody's accountable if you set in the tone. So you tell this man, hey, bro, you got to, because it's not the fact that you're not a great blocker. That's understandable. Mike Gesicki is not a great blocker. He's still a very valuable part of the team, right? The problem is the effort that you're putting in, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to sit there and say you're not putting in max effort, but there's something you're not doing, and it's not happening. The same way with Rooster. We're not going to say Rooster not putting in max effort, but Rooster, bro, you're fumbling the ball. Or, bro, you're not picking up whatever it may be. So now I got to do this right here. That should hold accountable for that same guy, because he's not even getting his body in front of people half the time. And when he does, he's whiffing on a lot of blocks. That's my problem. It's not that you can't block. If you could block and not hold the block, that's a different story, bro. Or if you're just not that strong, that's a different story. Bro, you're whiffing on so many blocks. You're
But
falling on the ground. Guys are running past you. I'm sorry, bro. I can't balance that out with what you do off the field as a captain.
So
unfortunately,
one second, Rich. Brevin Jordan got drafted, didn't he?
I think he did.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in the chat just said, didn't Brevin Jordan go undrafted? And they were saying that Mallory wouldn't get drafted. He went.
Brevin Jordan got drafted.
He got drafted. Brevin Jordan went in the 5th round. When it comes to Mallory, and when you watch those breakdowns, you can actually see how him missing a block trickles down to somebody else having to make the block, and then the guy gets tackled. You can see it, dog. So all I'm saying is I just believe that it's give and take with him. And I think we haven't figured out how you put him out there just to do what he do, put somebody else out there to block. You know what I'm saying? I think it's give and take with him, bro. Because if he wasn't leading us in receiving, then yeah.
I'm gonna respond to that.
I'm gonna ask Gaddis this. Hey, I'm gonna ask Gaddis this. Y'all calm down. Goddamn, calm down. I'm gonna ask him how would he grade Mallory's blocking Monday. I'm gonna say how would you grade Mallory's blocking, and I want to two-part it, but I'm gonna ask him how would he grade his blocking and how does it affect what the offense is trying to do? Think that's too much?
No, it's not enough.
It needs to be asked. All right. It needs to be asked, bro.
But Rich, I want you to get your shit. You were about to say something. I don't want you to lose that thought.
Yeah, I just wanted to say nowadays, because most tight ends do not block, if you're 6'5", 255 like he is, and if he hits 500 yards on the season, he's definitely a lock to get drafted, whether or not he runs a good 40 time or not. It's unfortunate, but it's one of those positions where one of those 32 teams are going to think that they can create a mismatch with him because he's 6'5" and he had 500 yards receiving on the year. It is what it is.
Listen, all that receiving yards and him leading the team, goddamn it, he's a starting tight end. Somebody got to get the goddamn ball. So him leading the team, that shit is not impressive. I just don't.
I just got a text from a little Legends corner, man. Where my little Kane Legends be listening. Say, who is this coach? I don't think his coach gonna be here next year. Dog. I don't think so. But his coach got, you know what I'm saying? He say, who's his coach?
His coach gonna be here. Isn't it Stephen Field?
I don't think so.
Mind you, Stephen Field been with Mario for a minute.
Right.
He's
a good recruiter, bro.
Yeah, he's a great recruiter. I think he needs to transition to the recruiting department and lead the
full time.
Because
I can see that. I can see that happening. But somebody got to get on the field with them tight ends, I think.
I think Mario can find a guy that can do it. His ties, like I said, with the NFL, and people that he know and the connections he made, he definitely can. But
you get more money if you're on the field, though.
Yeah. Mallory leaves a lot to be desired. And if he is on the field, get more money, Mallory ain't doing nothing that's got me saying, hey, to respond to what you were saying, Street, he leads the team in receiving yards, but that's not saying much because Kobe Young showed up.
In everything, Medi, receiving, catching.
Listen, Kobe Young showed up and almost got damn near the same amount of yardage in significantly less games. And mind you, half the team, our receiving core is either hurt or inconsistent. The tight end is supposed to be your safety valve after they block.
He's the only pass catching starter that hasn't missed a game. Am I right or wrong?
I'm pretty sure you're right. Even when we thought he was going to miss a game, I thought that man's career was over.
So
he's always on the field. He should.
Why you say he should lead the team? Somebody said Jimmy Graham couldn't block. Is that true?
Jimmy Graham was a basketball player.
But he was a physical mofo, though.
But he couldn't block. He couldn't block. But it's not about can't. It's about desire. Jimmy Graham will throw his body in front of somebody.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, you know Jimmy Graham was like an enforcer in basketball. Like he was the tough guy on the court, but in football, y'all saying what Brother Jordan said, we different people.
Street, you a hooper, so you understand this. Like Jimmy Graham, like they were asking him to do something that he wasn't. Cause yeah, he is an enforcer. He's like your Udonis Haslam, early Udonis Haslam, right? And basketball is completely different. That's probably why they saw something with him in football, and he took the route, the path of, I guess, least resistance, because
Right.
he probably wasn't gonna get drafted playing basketball in Miami, so he became a tight end. But look how long he been in the NFL. Will Mallory has always been a tight end. Yeah, Jimmy Graham been in the NFL. Shout out to Jimmy.
He once said Jimmy Graham was 10 times the receiver though. Brandon Took said Jimmy Graham played slot receiver. Brandon
Jimmy
Took
Graham
said,
was a problem.
He said Brandon Took said Jimmy Graham played slot receiver.
Let's be clear. Brandon? Jimmy Graham ran so guys like Kyle Pitts could fly. Jimmy Graham was in the mold of them slot tight ends that
he took after
slot
Gates.
tight ends that you see now. Yeah. Those guys, that's what Jimmy Graham was kind of modeled after. So he wasn't requested, he wasn't asked to do much of that.
Listen, what Tooks is saying is partially right, because Jimmy Graham had to mediate for his contract because he wanted to be, because of the amount of snaps that he lined up as a slot, he wanted to be paid like a receiver. So there was a big much to do about that when it was time for his contract or whatever. But I think they sided on the favor of the team, so he had to get paid like a tight end. But he was trying to get paid like a receiver because of how many snaps he was lining up, out wide.
Who was Jimmy Graham quarterback?
Drew Brees in New Orleans.
You talking about in college?
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Kaya?
All I remember that game he dropped the ball. Remember the game he dropped the ball?
That was his first time, though. Yeah, that was he was just getting started, bro. He wasn't seasoned. It's just like Rashad Smith. You got to get used to being a real pass catcher.
See, but I was kind of good with Jimmy Graham because I that's when I was following you in basketball big time. I knew exactly who he was and what his ability was. It's crazy to me that he went from being an enforcer in basketball to not as physical in football. Yeah, I was just rooting for him to win, to be honest with you, because I saw his basketball career. But I don't know, bro. With the Mallory thing, I'm not sure why he's a captain. Kyle, I'll ask around. What is it he does? Get to everything on time. Maybe he picks up the cones after every. I don't fucking know what he does.
I'm not him being the captain. Him being the captain ain't my issue.
It is for me. It sends a message.
Go ahead.
It sends a message that everybody ain't treated the same. I get it. You show up first year, Mallory's one of those guys that everybody's talking about. He's on some watch lists. And so I guess, Mario didn't want to ruffle feathers. But at some point, y'all cannot tell me y'all sitting there breaking down these films and these tapes and looking at the offense and then saying, you try to run a screen. We were complaining about that for how long? Why don't we throw bubble screens? Why don't we throw these little quick outs that can help the receivers since TVD so slow? And every time we said it, well, we can't do it because Will Mallory ain't blocking. He missing his assignment. He whipping the block. So we saying that we can allow that to happen, and in some cases it's stopped or pretty much stalled our drives out, but he can still get on the field. But then the one time we saw Khalil Brantley absolutely demolishing people at the point of attack, he can't get on the field. What message is that saying if I'm the head coach in that tight end room? Do you wonder why we hear all these rumblings about, apparently, Skinner and all these other people get into it with the tight end coaches because there's no accountability in that room. I don't care if Will Mallory get 100 yards a game. If you don't block as a tight end, A, stop being a tight end, and B, get off the field. Because everything else we're trying to, it's almost selfish. We talk about people worrying about their own stats and whatnot. Isn't that not what we say? Didn't Gaddis not come out and say that? But then we sitting there talking about, oh, Mallory leading team in receiving. But the one main thing that people don't understand, that the main purpose of a tight end is to block. You're the function of the tight end to be a offensive lineman who can run downfield, essentially. But your first primary goal is to be an extra blocker. And then if you block, you chip block, or they don't pick up on you on the assignment, or you don't have an assignment, then you would normally leak out for a pass. That's the unique thing about being tight end and why you're not a wide receiver. If you're not blocking, then what are we talking about? There got to be accountability. We can't sit here and move the needle. We can't move the needle and sit there and say, and watch as guys like Xavier Restrepo not getting no targets. He was supposed to be our leading receiver, our captain. And we sitting there praising him like, man, Restrepo out there getting it in, like putting his body on the line. He ain't got much body to put out there, but he putting it out there, goddammit. And then you got Will Mallory's big ass, and he's not blocking. Rooster too. Rooster's biggest thing was, and that's the part that's baffling to me. The Rooster's big thing was the fumbles. Game-changing, like record-affecting fumbles. We probably beat North Carolina if he don't fumble that ball, right? And they sat his ass down like, hey, man, we're going to have to go in a different direction. Even as going as far as hey, Henry going to be the guy. And that's unheard of in today's modern college football. Like, you usually have a stable back that you can rotate through. UM made that shit popular. And it was like, we can't depend on him. So, he was mad about it, but he locked in and got better. So why do we give him why does he get the benefit of the doubt, but Will Mallory don't?
This real Mallory
He's
last
counterproductive.
year.
Huh?
Is Mallory last year?
It better be. He holding his team back.
What? You say holding the team back?
He is.
Uh-oh.
There are things
he's our leading receiver.
That don't mean he's not holding the team back. Like I just said, this man's worried about his stats. Not worried about there's 11 other people out there, or 10 other people out there with you. I don't care if, like I said, if you catch for 100 yards, like if you're not doing the primary basis of what you're supposed to be doing in blocking, and it's affecting other people's plays, you affecting the we always talk about, we always put the point fingers at Josh Gaddis, but never talk about the people who don't maintain their assignments. And then we see Skinner come out here this last game, line up as an H-back, and he 150 pounds soaking wet. But he's at least trying to take on blocks, get on the backfield. He's showing his functionality. I can't think of a situation where we would line up Will Mallory and an H-back because they know he's going with the assignment.
I'm going to get to the bottom of it, dog. Listen, we're going to plan this thing off to Wholesome Holloway because I think he on there, all right? I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Hey, man, just don't Manny Diaz, Josh Gaddis, man.
No way. I'm going to ask him, dog.
Don't make him an NFT, man.
I'm going to ask him. Anybody up here think anybody think we could win this game? Anybody in the comment section think what they saw, think we can go up here, shock the world, Najee Davenport, UCLA, Ezra and James? Anybody think that in the comment section? Anybody? Let me know, man. Y'all gonna get up out of here, man.
Street.
The Redskins whooping up on Philly, and people said Redskins didn't have a chance tonight, man. Goddamn, the Capitals, the Warriors, whatever the hell it is, they up. What was that? What was your question?
Go ahead.
You got a question, Matty?
Oh, my mic was muted. I said Seven McGee. Him and Restrepo got a separate slap boxing match in the parking lot too, at the flea market.
Why?
Who getting that number 7?
It won't be 7.
I guess I have to wear 17, like my dog. What's buddy name that
won't
left?
Be 7. It
That's
won't be
been
7. That's my little dude, Seven McGee. I met Seven McGee. I told the story earlier in the thing. I met him a while ago. Bumped into him in Vegas, and he was like, Footballville. And I was like, what's up? He was like, I'm from New York, man. I said, you know what footballville is? He said, I watch it. I don't know what everybody else watch, but I watch it. He's one of them kids, man, that just seemed like he was just old as hell, always. Yeah, though. Like, he just seemed like he was old as hell. He done played a lot of football. It took him a while. He fought to get into Oregon. And for him to be leaving, I think it has to do with something with business. He's a very sharp kid. He had 11 catches this year. He had 7 catches last year. I think a couple kickoff turns. I think he had 2 touchdowns. He's 5'8". Stout kid. He's dynamic with the ball in his hand. I don't think we have a Seven McGee on our team.
You said whooping up.
Huh?
You said whooping up on the Eagles, man. I got them in my fantasy. You ain't whooping up on them.
Man, everything I read said the Eagles said the Capitals or whatever the hell they are, the Commanders wasn't going to score, bro. They made it seem like the Commanders had no chance to score, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, they made it seem. I don't know what's going on with them. They got a backup quarterback in or something.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, all the reports look pretty bad.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke.
Mm-hmm. Heineke. So, all right, man, y'all get on up out of here, man. Y'all go check out Wholesome Holloway. I'm gonna shut this down, all right?
All right, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate y'all, boys, man. 786-405-9499. 3 more people get into IOD Squad for $11. Our Jakari sale. That's where we talk about investing and all of that stuff. Investing and I think we got a huddle tonight. Oh no, we had one today. And Sunday. And we were talking about investing, crypto, and all that stuff. We trade every day. We're going to put some long-term trades in there tonight for y'all guys. That's in there. $11 sale. Then it goes back to the regular price. Appreciate y'all, man. Don't put off tomorrow. Something you could do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. I'm D and I'm out of here.